like to take a few moments and talk about Melodic Motion Etude number 8. This takes a sequence of bass motion and runs it through a diatonic key. Here we're seeing just the key of no sharps and no flats. If you haven't yet done so, I'd appreciate it very much if you'd subscribe. Please like, share, leave a comment. If you'd like to leave a donation to the channel, the PayPal information's in the description below. And let's get started here with this motif. So everything's going to come out of that, those combinations of intervals and that melodic motion. Then we're going to extend everything through the key, and this is something to do with any little bit of counterpoint you find. Try to extend it throughout either diatonic key or use it as a way to modulate. So here we're going to start with a 10th. C and E, 5th and 2nd strings, we're backing up a scale neighbored below. So in this case it's a whole step. E, D, E. Now our initial interval is getting smaller. So from an octave to a 7th. The bass is walking up to D and the melody is coming down to C. And we're backing up to the neighbor below again. It's the same formula. Bass up. So this is D and C with a B below. Then a 6th. So we have common tone C there. We have an E in the bass, 2nd fret, and a C, 5th fret of the 3rd string, backing up to its lower neighbor B. And now a 3rd, which is going to sprout some action above it from this 3rd, F and A, B and D, B and C, sorry. Now we're going to move everybody up. So all the alphabet letters that I've said here, C's, D's, E's, and F's, are going to be D's, E's, F's, and G's. It's a common device in composition to use these. I think of them as cousins or neighbors of the initial phrase. So D and F, 5 and 6, neighbor below on 5. Here's our 7th at the 7th fret, E and D, but now our below neighbor is a whole step. Half step. In fact, this might be one way to approach this etude, is just take the first 2 moves, a 10th and a 7th. So now we'll have E and G, and the 7th will be F and E. So we'll have to account for the accidentals. We're just trying to see the key of no sharps, no flats. That's mostly what I'm doing for myself as a player, is I'm seeing, so to speak, the white notes on the guitar. It's helping me determine where the pattern changes. I don't have these fingerings memorized necessarily. It's the note names and the pitches that I'm seeing and the frets. So we have that E and D with the C below. And now a 6th, F and D. We could get it here, but I'm trying to keep the fingering pattern kind of the same, which requires a little bit of a stretch here. F and D from 3 to 7 with C below, whole step below. 7, 5, 7. And now our 3rd, G and B with a C, D above it. And now this offset fingering. Second finger on E, 7th fret, with a G, 8th fret, 2nd string. We're back and forth between G and F. Here we're on the 2nd string, 8th fret, 6th fret. Now, an interesting, I like these kinds of things in fingerings. 7 and 8 is going to go to 8 and 9. Very similar shape. This would be the one way to goof around with it. Change the distance between them. What would it be? That has possibilities. That's just motion. Here we are. So F and E with a D below. Then our 6th, G and E. 5 and 9 with 7 below. And now our inner pairs look different. We have this big stretch. And now we get this big stretch. A, C, D, E. So this is a result of those thirds. This would be another part of the etude. You could just take this part, just this inner line. This is the way to create material for yourself out of one simple line. Now we're up to F. I hope you're seeing that it's the same formula again. This one will be almost exactly the same as our initial one, but the third will look a little different. Instead of being F and A, because we're at the 4 chord, we're going to get A and D this way. 10 and 8 with neighbor below. Walk the bass up to a 7th. This is G and F, 10 and 10. This is our 6th, A and F, 7 and 10. But now our third changes to this minor third. 9 and 7. 7, 9, 10. D, E, F. And now G, up. So now we have our initial 10th is fine, G and B, whole step below. And on our 7th, we have a whole step below G to F. So 12 and 12 with 10 behind. And now we have never had this one for our 6th. B and G with an F below. So it looks a little different than what we've had previously. 9 and 12 with 10. And now we get a third, C and E, with F and G above. 10, 9, 10, 12. I hope at some point it'll feel like it kicks in and you'll be able to anticipate what the fingering will look like and feel like in its next iteration. Here's A minor. 12 and 13 with a lower neighbor a half step below. Now our 7th is B and A, 14 and 14 with a whole step below to G. Now our wide 6th from 10 to 14, that's C and A with a G below. And we swap out for the wide 3rd. D and F with a G and an A above, 10, 12, 12, 14. And the final one is interesting. B and D, 14, 15 with whole step below. And we get that pattern again where we go to a similar shape. Here's 15 and 16, C and B, that's our 7th, with an A below. Now we have to widen out. Here's our 6th, D and B, 12 and 16, with an A below. And our 3rd is the wide one, E and G, with an A and a B. And we're back home, if we want, to the octave 15, 17. 7ths at 17th fret. Then 14, 17, E and C. 15 and 14, there's our 3rd, F and A. I hope this does something for your ear, for your playing. Maybe it's something you can integrate in to your way of seeing the board. And let it change your hearing a little bit in the way that you perceive sequence. And until we meet again, I wish you a very, very good day.